someone were to stop you on the street and ask you, are you an athlete? What would your answer be to them?
Not today.
I have this weird caveat that I've made up in my head. If you're going to shower, like, you need to have sweat first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did I need a 4.5 GPA to go to Indiana? Absolutely not.
Stop us.
Let us live.
Yeah. Teach us how to take a break.
Tell us to go to the movies, please.
When did you learn how to take a break?
Are we still learning
Now,
that?
am I like getting competitive again already? Like, damn it. Veronica figured out how to take a break before I did.
I feel like I'm attention seeking in a sneaky way.
Yeah.
It's like I want people to be like, oh, you did a great job on that. I still like love that validation.
To truly have that internal validation.
Right.
As valuable. To deem it as valuable.
Right.
Or trust yourself.
Right.
Trust how you feel about yourself. To have a high enough self-worth.
But you know, I'll be unstoppable once I can validate myself. So watch out, world.
Yeah, how are we doing on that?
I mean, not great.
I am so excited to have you on here.
Me too.
And it was like not spur of the moment, but I did not give you very much lead time at all.
And I asked how to prep and you did not give me anything. So
correct.
This is all fresh.
Because I did want nothing prepped. If someone were to stop you on the street and ask you, are you an athlete? What would your answer be to them?
Not today.
Fair.
I think the mentality like never leaves you.
Yeah.
Like just the discipline and, you know, pushing past barriers and playing as a team, like those principles, I think, always stay with me. The
skills, right? It's like the skill part of it, other than the act of actually like putting the ball in a goal or something like that. It's
exactly.
Like
I'm not running 3 miles a day anymore, let me tell you.
What? You're not? Give us a little bit of kind of sports history. Would you say that you identified as an athlete growing up?
Yes, absolutely. So I was actually thinking about this earlier today, but I think like it was really your parents that like pushed me to being like a better athlete. Like my dad just wanted to give me exposure to like every sport. So we were playing PCSL soccer and rec basketball. And then I think it was like we were probably on the same team or close teams. Our parents worked together. And your dad, I think, pointed out like, you know, Erin's been playing club. Like maybe Veronica should try out for like CIS or whatever.
I forgot about that.
And that pushed me into club soccer. And that was really like, I would say that was I mean, I played a bunch of sports, but that really was my sport, I think.
Totally.
So yeah, it was definitely how I identified.
That is so fascinating.
But yeah, it definitely pushed me into like the club scene and like really becoming an athlete growing up.
Yeah. Even as I was like thinking about this and like background, like mini short background, we didn't live necessarily like in the same neighborhood wise. We lived in the same town growing up. Our parents worked at the same place. And so like there were like our parents were all mutual friends. So then like we were like knew each other from a really young age.
Yes.
And played and got to be bowling teammates.
Yes.
Which was really probably our first sport together.
That was the most like formative athletic experience of my life. Just like chugging chicken wings and you know, bowling.
I have to throw this out there just because Veronica and I have talked about this a lot in our past, and I still love it every time it comes up. This was the time period, we were like 8.
Oh, yeah.
So like maybe the millennia, but like late 90s.
Britney Spears was in the Walkman.
Yeah. Veronica and I were very committed to the like worker pant, wide leg jean of the time that properly, as you were supposed to be wearing, that had the, you know, hammer loop, the ones that are coming back now, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, do you have on right now?
Yes. These are a little more of like a high rise because let me tell you, we did not wear belts with those pants. No. And every single time, I'm not going to stand up and demonstrate it, but literally we've talked about this. What happened?
Well, we had to pull our pants up. I think it was also a function of like the only probably 8-year-olds with like a little bit of hip, and so there was not like a pant that fit us at all portions, and so you'd have to just like hike those pants up to like get down the alley.
You stand, pull the pants up, then go get your bowling ball, then walk out. As you walk back after throwing the ball, pull them up again and wait for the next roll.
Eastland Mall Old Navy did not have the proper pants for us.
It was not our best selection. When I think of sports, like I always do think of bowling randomly. But also then we got to play together in high school. We played in the same soccer club, and then we got to play together again in high school, which was so fun.
Yes.
So fun. So many memories. Have you thought about your like athletic history, athletic past in the recent years?
Oh, I mean, I love it when I get to see you or Kylie. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of our like best friends. I mean, that's where we spent so much of our time. And
like the teammate side.
Yeah, it's like being on the field was fun, but like being on the bus, like that was like a lot of the time we spent together and like just being silly and goofy.
Totally.
And like, thank God there weren't iPhones. Like we don't have like so many embarrassing videos, but like they were, you know, we had digital cameras.
Yes. We had enough. We had just enough to like, ooh, those things kind of exist. They're just not everywhere.
We're silly.
We were very silly. I love it. So talk a little bit about when did you stop playing sports?
I stopped playing after high school. I was like preparing for this a little bit, not really, but like I remember being on the like soccer field and like thinking like, remember this because you're never going to play at this level again. I just knew like I wanted to go to, you know, a big school for college. And like, I mean, I was a fine player, but like I wasn't going to like go D1 at anything. And so just kind of like trying to think about how to pivot away from just like the whole structure of your day being sports and jumping into like going away to college. Like it's a big transition.
All the changes at the same time.
Of course. Why do one thing?
I know. Never. Just do them all at the same time, then everything's a little off.
Yeah.
Do you remember like pre-going to college? Like do you remember actively thinking, oh, like this is the first time I won't have a sport while I'm doing other things? Or was it kind of just like a college is so new, I'm just like taking everything as it comes?
Yeah, I think for me, thankfully, it was like just such a big life change. You're losing everything, right? You're losing your like high school friends, you're losing sports, you're losing going home to your parents every night. Like, so I don't think I really isolated it to like me losing sports at one time, but it is like wild to go like have just full, you know, freedom in your schedule and like, nope, it's up to you to get up for class and it's up to you to like go take a shower and like you really are on your own.
You don't have a sport that's like forcing you to take a shower. This is a thing. I've been talking to people about this recently. I probably like shouldn't share this information. For me, I've associated it to like an athlete identity part of me.
Of course.
I have this weird like caveat that I've made up in my head. Oh, if you're going to shower, like you need to have sweat first.
Yes.
So like growing up, and I remember, you know, everyone always back in the day, like, don't wash your hair every day. Don't wash your hair. Like it'll get
How can
oily.
you not?
I was like, I literally.
Mine's caked in salt. What are we doing?
I was like, I literally can't not wash my hair. Like I have to wash my hair. I have 1 and or 2 sports practices.
Right.
I have to shower. And so I think because of that, like now in my adult life, it's like, okay, if I don't have time to get a workout in, or I'll be like, okay, well, I can't shower yet because I have like, Erin, showers can also be self-care.
Yeah. You just probably need to shower.
Do not withhold showers as a penalty for not working out. So we're working through that.
That's probably a good life skill to learn. Also like showering in the morning. Totally new for me.
I'm telling you.
Because, like, what was the purpose, you know, back then? Because you'd always have practice at night. You shower before bed.
You know you're going to sweat later at
shower
practice.
in the morning. You're like, what is this? Why do we start our day this way?
You're like, what is this point? Yeah.
I've also been thinking about, like, how bad we smelled. Like
how normalized it was.
How sick it was to like drive 2 hours away, 3 soccer games, and then get in the car with your parents and just like vacuum seal them into like shin guards.
Cleats are like in the side of your little like soccer bag with the zipper, you know, and they like put that little mesh on it. Like that's supposed to help air them out. Well, you're just airing it out into the back of the van to drive 2 hours home.
It's like so disgusting.
That's
I'm
a great
so sorry,
point.
Dad.
That is such a great point. It's been like those weird little things that come up and kind of randomly I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, I think I do that because that's what I did when I was an athlete, you know?
Right.
And again, part of this is that whole idea that like you were saying, you can still feel those like intangibles, right? You can still feel those skills, those things that you've learned,
right?
Without actively going out and jumping on the soccer field right now.
Exactly.
You know, that would look interesting for both of us currently in this moment. If you're years out from your last game and something still feels off, you're not alone. Most retired athletes don't even realize that they're carrying the weight of an identity loss they never processed. We designed a breathwork experience specifically for retired athletes that helps you release what's been sitting in your body since you stopped competing. The emotions you were taught to push down, the doubt, the disconnect. This breathwork is completely virtual and takes less than an hour. I've done breathwork with this facilitator over 100 times, and I promise you, every single session hits different. I used to think breathwork was woo-woo, and now it's a non-negotiable part of my routine. Lifetime access, one purchase. Grab the discount in the description. When you were kind of transitioning into college and all of that, like, was working out a thing that you still did regularly?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
when you first got into college.
Yeah, I mean, I guess full transparency, like, Kylie and I live together. So Kylie and I is a mutual friend.
Yeah, and a soccer teammate from high school.
And like we would like I think our parents were so scared that we were just gonna like eat like crackers and like canned cheese like for every meal, and like definitely were like reminding us to get out there. But
I mean, you two probably definitely considered.
I mean, we used to like go to the like C-store, which is like the convenience store in our basement, and like get, you know, canned cheese and crackers and watch My 600-Pound Life. And we're like, well, we're not them. But like,
we're not them, so it's okay for right now.
Yeah, and that. So, but we definitely made sure to like get out and go for runs, and like how healthy that was, like as you're transitioning to like still have that physical activity. And I think we walked to like every class, but that was like kind of an athlete mentality too. It's like you have to punish yourself to like get to class. Like you're gonna walk the 3 miles like across campus, because if you take the bus, you're lazy. Like, what are you doing?
How much of a mentality is that? You know, but again, like probably just seemed normal to both of you because both of your brains thought that.
Right.
Where like someone else who maybe has never played sports or things like that, like they would never
You're
associate.
Like, why don't you take the bus?
Yeah.
Because it's free and it's there.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, no, actually I would prefer to be like.
I should be sweating when I get to the top of Valentine. Like,
isn't that wild though?
It is wild. I mean, I still do that today. Like I walk to work in San Francisco every single day. And like,
do you?
I feel bad about myself if I didn't walk to work.
Yeah. And even that transition for you guys where like you both weren't playing a competitive organized sport when you went to college, but it's like, well, I don't have a 2 to 3 hour practice later that's going to make me, you know, do something that's hard or, you know, punish me. So it's like, okay, well, we better walk because previously we were doing X, Y, and Z.
Right.
All of soccer practice.
We were doing 2-a-days. We were doing suicides.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
You just don't have that community just like forcing you into working out.
Because of my transition out of sport, right? So I played basketball through college.
Yeah.
And that transition of like college to postgraduate, I feel like you could talk to this a little bit or just give your opinion on it. I have this thing in my head where I truly feel sometimes people who stopped playing sports before college or during college sometimes develop better workout habits or better kind of healthy ways to handle their life than athletes that play all the way through.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden either just like go straight into grad school or like just start into the workforce.
Right.
There is something about like the atmosphere that a college creates of walking to class.
It's still babysitting. Like it's still very structured. It's still all like people of your same age.
People are doing active things, you know.
Right.
There's extra time. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it.
Right.
When you've got a bunch of exams and things. But like in the college setup,
right,
you've got time to like do things that are just for you.
Right.
Majority of colleges like have access to an amazing gym.
Right.
Or classes or things like that once you're an adult beyond that, you have to pay for.
They make it easy for you. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about that where it's like, oh, I might have created better workout habits than the people who played like sports all the way through college? I
guess I haven't really thought about that, mostly because I wouldn't say that my like lifestyle habits are amazing. Yeah, I could see how it would be a lot harder to transition into like civilian life if you played sports all the way through college, and then your first exposure to like not having that structure is when you're also like a professional, because the stakes are just so much higher and there's just so much less structure.
Yeah.
You're not living in a community with, you know, kids your same age. Like you're just going out into like real life.
Yeah.
And good luck.
Yeah.
You know, you have to create kind of the structure for yourself. Obviously, you speak to this more than I can, but I think one of the biggest transitions from, you know, when you end sports to when you just kind of, you know, go on with your life is losing that team. And because your team is so much more than just, you know, who you go on the field with. Like they are your friends on and off the field. They know exactly what you're going through at any like given point. It's hard to hide things from them. To transition into not having, you know, 20 people that are really your support system every single day. I would think that would be really, really challenging.
Yeah. You bring up a really good point, actually, because even until right now, for you, again, like you said, you stopped playing in high school, but then like all the big changes were happening, right? So it's like there were so many things changing that like maybe the whole like not playing a sport anymore wasn't like the one thing that stuck out, where it's like, again, I'm equating that to my experience, and it was like I was still in a school setting, you know, it was in a, you know, doctor of physical therapy program. That team part of it gets pulled. I'm still in a like somewhat of a college setting, you know, a little bit different, like had more classes and things like that. But I'm like just now thinking through that piece of, if I had stopped playing earlier and had to like already develop those, go meet people that aren't just handed to you on a platter. You know, like, here, all of you guys have something in common.
Exactly.
Like,
and you're going to spend like 100 hours a week together. So you'll have plenty of time to get to know each other.
And like be on the same schedule and like understand why you're all tired because you got back from 3 a.m. from the bus at 3 a.m.
And you went to you went to a smaller school in DePaul. And so as a percentage of the people you knew at DePaul, like I have to imagine your team was like 50% of your ecosystem. Whereas then just to like transition over to Wash U, where it's like, No, you're crushed. At least for me, like, you know, I went to get my MBA and I kind of had the feeling that, everyone here, we're all doing the same thing. Like it's kind of like, we're all going to get along. And that's not the case, but like for great reasons, right? Like they bring together like a diverse set of people. You're not going to be best friends with everybody.
But your brain went back to like, this is going to be a team again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting.
Right. It's like you're all here for the same purpose and you're all spending, you know, countless hours together. And you're just going to gel. And like, I mean, I gelled with a lot of people, but like it's not like 11 girls playing high school soccer either.
Too, because of like your history and that your brain went to, okay, this is going to be a small group. We're all working towards the exact same thing. It's going to feel like I'm on a team again.
And to an extent it does, because you're all being put through the same paces, but everyone handles it differently. And but that's a good life lesson too. But like, you're right. That's like the default mode, right?
Totally.
Like everyone's going to approach this the same way that I did.
Yeah, there's so many things, you know, that you could like peel and be like, oh, that's kind of like sports. That's not. That is. But it's like, how does it feel in that moment? Like you said, like you got to know some people really well, but like not necessarily everyone, like maybe you thought you would.
Right.
Like, do you remember having like feelings during that time of like, oh, okay, this was not what I expected?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the biggest thing for me, and I, you know, thinking about kind of like the athlete mentality, I always think people are just going to like put in the time to get stuff done. Everyone's going to be like as determined and as, you know, like, kind of one track mind as I am. And for good reasons, they're not. There are boundaries. And, I could definitely do with more of that. But like just thinking that, you know, everyone's going to approach like a group project or a team effort in the same way that I will, which is not the case. That's not real life. It shouldn't be real life.
You're not.
But I think that's like a big thing that I've had to learn, you know, growing out of sports. It's like not everyone is like works the same way you do. And that's okay. And I think we probably learned that in high school too. Like not everyone approaches, practice the same way. Not everyone is like
commitment to things,
right?
Right.
Like, this is just a game. Do you guys know that? Like,
yeah, and on all sides of that. Right. Where
Right.
it's like, when you're growing up and when you're playing on these teams in these developmental years of
Right.
your life, it's like everyone's bringing their own personalities and kind of their own thoughts, but you're learning similar plays or learning similar play styles. So it's like you're kind of being conditioned into working a certain way.
Right.
Expecting that person next to you is going to show up.
Right.
In that same way.
Yes.
Because it's like, carry your weight, I'll carry mine.
But I feel like, going back, like, you probably have always felt that. Like, I always felt like you were always, like, very quick to get a play, or, like, you were very quick to, like, see the whole field and, like, understand the strategy. And, like, I mean, that's why you, like, went on to, like, win a national championship. And, like, you've always been kind of, like, a cut ahead. Like, that had to, like, I feel like that's a lesson you learned, like, very early on, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm kind of that, like, student of the game person where it's like, maybe I'm not going to be, in basketball, volleyball, like, I'm not going to be, like, leading scorer, but, like, from a, like, coaching mentality almost. Like,
yes.
That was kind of more my role. And so I do totally take that in to other aspects of my life.
Yes, I can imagine.
Right? Yeah. So talk a little bit about, what do you do now? What's your life look like now? Tell me all about it.
Yeah. So I guess now I'm very, I went to Indiana after high school and studied finance, and I'm still doing that. So I would say I'm a financial analyst of sorts.
Yeah, you are.
I work on commercial real estate, the built environment, live in beautiful San Francisco with my husband. Yeah, that's kind of day to day. We're like, in our 30s and
we are
living life.
We are
in
our 30s.
It's so hard to talk about yourself.
I know. You can do it. You are doing it.
So I would say my group projects are more in Excel based now. Not really like sports based, but
yeah. You're a really good group project person, though.
I love a group project.
You're good at group projects.
I like working in teams. I like collaborating. I don't like working by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's kind.
No, but seriously, isn't it kind of funny? It's like, even when, like, we don't talk regularly, like, even I was telling Alex, I was like, oh yeah, Veronica, like, it's going to be great. And we're going to talk about these and we're going to, like, jump right into it because that's just how we are.
Yeah.
But two, like, yes, we got to be teammates in soccer in high school, but, like, we had a lot of similar classes too.
Of course.
Which, like, some of our other mutual friends.
Because we're
like,
overachievers.
Yeah. Hi, we're actually going to rename this podcast. This is actually called No Former Athlete, but High Achievers.
We just had to take AP Calc. Like we couldn't let it go.
Yeah. Would we still be that way now? Do you feel like you're still that person?
No. I would give myself a break.
We've worked on this.
Like, I would realize, like, I'm not going to trade derivatives. It's just not what I'm going to do. And so I don't need to understand calculus. Like, I would have given myself a break.
Yeah.
Did I need, like, a 4.5 GPA to go to Indiana? Absolutely not. How can you get into GPA above the scale? That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It shouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be allowed because guess what? When you open that GPA above a 4, all of us little millennial overachievers at the time, well, how do we then achieve higher than that? Please stop us at a 4.0.
Yeah.
Stop us.
Let us live.
Yeah. Teach us how to take a break.
Tell us to go to the movies, please. Not spend weekends studying for AP tests. Yeah.
When did you realize that? When did you learn how to take a break?
College. Oh. Definitely. That's when I learned that it's just a game. Like, it's just a means to an end. Like, if you can get a job, you can give yourself a break. Like, your job's not going to follow up.
I like that journey for you.
Got a 4.0. Like,
yeah.
Just accept the offer and, like,
yeah,
go on spring break. It's okay.
Which also, that didn't happen.
Have you
for
learned
me in
that
college.
Yet? Are we still learning
now?
That?
Am I like getting competitive again already? Like, damn it, Veronica figured out how to take a break before I did. The competitive side's coming back out. We're like, dang, she beat me.
Yeah, to be clear, it was 21. I'm just kidding.
Wow. No, I did not learn that in college. Which now I'm wondering if that is fully because I was still in sport mode completely.
Of course.
And that was driving
you were also
everything. And
you were having to use your credentials to apply to higher education.
Fair. I knew anything that I was doing in college still needed to count. Which
exactly.
Truly, it probably wasn't until PT school, probably the end of PT school, where I was like, okay, I don't need a 4.0 anymore. So again, in that same way, but it was all just like pushed one more step. That overachiever thing.
Yes. Ambition. It doesn't stop.
That hooked us.
Yes.
We were hooked.
It's a drug.
We were hooked to over ambition.
Yes.
A lot.
Yes.
As athletes, we're taught to compartmentalize everything. Push it down. Stay focused. Win. But that doesn't always serve us as adults. So we designed a breathwork experience specifically for retired athletes. It isn't talk therapy, it's a somatic release that helps you process a decade of suppressed emotions in one powerful session. It's completely virtual and takes less than an hour. Grab your discount code in the description. I also have memories, and like the things that define you in my brain are those things of like, oh my gosh, yeah, you absolutely want to work with Veronica. Like, you want to work with Veronica. You want her to be a part of your group project. You gave me when we were actually together and things. We were like, oh, thank you.
I mean, yeah.
Now
you
we
were the
know
same
we're
way.
going to pull each other, everybody's going to pull their weight. It's going to be great. There is that like reliability part.
What always drew me to you was the accountability piece.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't always at the same level. Especially basketball. Basketball was like my number 2 sport. But you know what? We always paired up for suisudes. Because we were like, okay, we can do the 10 in 10 minutes. Like, we can get this done.
Yeah. But knowing your teammates.
And you weren't going to give up. Yeah. Like, you were just going to like.
We're just going to do it.
Right.
Veronica and I are going to show up. We're going to do it. We're going to get it done.
Yes.
And now in our 30s, we know how to take a break. We learned how to take a break before we're retired.
Yeah. I mean, we say that as like, I went to get my MBA and now I work 60 hours a week and you have like 6 jobs, but sometimes we take a break.
Yes. I do have 6 jobs, but it's also like passion and being able to work towards that, which feels really good.
Yeah.
Even with your many hours that you work, do you actually find time to take breaks now?
Of course.
Good.
Of course.
That's important. What things feel good for you now?
I think it's like the little things. I think it's like being able to like go for a date night on like a Wednesday and just like, talk with Mickey. We have a lot of fun together.
Yeah.
I love being able to like travel. I love being able to go see my family. I do love making time to work out. Like, there's definitely that kind of like endorphin rush.
Totally.
But yeah, I think it's having that autonomy. I think that's what feels the best.
Yeah.
Just like never feeling like you have to be anywhere, but that you get to be somewhere.
And just committing and spending time towards doing those things that feel like a get to.
Yes.
Yes. Because it's not always that.
Right.
It wasn't always that. It's not always that. And maybe it's not, always going to be that.
Right.
There's going to be those moments where,
No, that's an interesting question. It's like looking back, our parents were the same way. Mm-hmm. It's like if you sign up for something, you have to be there. And if
that's the only rule.
And if you don't go to practice, you don't get to play in the game. Do you think that's fair? Like, do you think that's how, like, going back, like, would you put the same pressure on your kids? And not to say, like, our parents did anything wrong. They're amazing. Yeah. But it's just, like, interesting and, like, what is it, like, almost 20 years later, like, does the mentality change?
Always had multiple sports going on. Mm-hmm. It was always up to me.
Yeah.
I definitely played as many as I did because I loved it and I enjoyed it.
Right.
I'm not going to lie. Travel soccer growing up, I would get about halfway through the season almost every single season. Again, super fortunate, like played on a very talented travel team. I would get about halfway through and be like, Mom, I hate going to practice. I don't want to go to practice. Like, that was the one of all the sports that, like, I had to drag myself to.
That's so interesting.
Like, weirdly, it was the sport that I was the best at. Mm-hmm. I didn't end up playing that sport in college because I always knew how hard it was for me to drag myself there.
Interesting.
Like, I literally chose basketball.
I was always kind of interested that you chose basketball.
I definitely, obviously, like, could have gone to a higher level school, like, division-wise in soccer.
Yeah.
Like, I was, like, compared to other soccer goalies, I was a better goalie compared to others than I was a basketball player compared to others.
Yeah.
And it was the first time that I chose joy. Like I purely,
Wow.
it was a big breakthrough.
Yeah.
You knew high school Erin.
Yeah.
Yeah, high school Erin was a little stiff. Making that decision was like the first big like move, big decision for me where I was like, growing up, I know how hard it is for me to get there. And if I went and played D1 soccer, that was going to be my full-time job.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could almost feel, and I was like, I think I kind of was predicting burnout before it happened, which truly was why
I don't know how you weren't burnt out at the end of high school.
I know, but I do think that's where some of it comes. Like, I loved it. I truly loved it. And my parents,
Right.
Our only rule in regards to sports was once you commit to a team, you can't quit partway through.
Right.
You made the team. Do you want to play this season? I don't know that I've really thought about that until right now. But like
they always
the
make you make the commitment. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay, well done, parents. So I would say moving forward, yes, that would and will be the rule of just like total autonomy.
Right.
Even if if we have a kid and they're playing a sport and like even if I'm extremely passionate about it and I want them to keep playing, I already know in my brain like I will always give that autonomy just because I know what that gave to me.
Right.
To where I didn't burn out.
Right.
Playing 3 sports in club and school.
It never felt like you
school.
had to. It was like your choice. Yeah, that's great.
And there were definitely those moments, especially like junior high. It was like that junior high age where it would be like, I just don't want to go to practice. And it was like my mom was like, that's fine that you don't want to go, but go get your bag packed and get in the car because like, that's the only thing, like that's the only rule.
Right.
The only rule is you've committed.
I don't care how you show up at practice, but you will be there.
No. Like, yeah, you've committed, so you need to show up.
Yeah.
And again, that was enough because it was like that was just always consistent and it was like established from the start.
I think that's a great value too.
That's really
I just wonder
interesting.
if kids today feel the same way.
Yeah. Even there's like the joke, Instagram reels that are like, this is the basketball mom that I think I am. They're like, yes, honey, like, good job. You did it. Like, yep, get back on defense. Good job. And then it'll like flip and it'll be like, this is the basketball coach. And it's like Kim Mulkey, like stomping on the ground and like doing all this stuff. I do think I'll have to be careful of that in the future slightly. No, but I do think there's that line of like, yeah, you can't want it more. You can't want it more than the kid.
Totally.
This value that I'm realizing that kind of giving that autonomy, like how do you think that affects us in our life now?
At least for me, it's like, kind of a similar way of like, if you're going to accept this job, like make sure that you like show up and like you get your work done. And if you have a deadline, like you meet the deadline, like there's definitely kind of, I think a healthy level of commitment and just showing up. Yeah. I wouldn't say like I hold that in everything in my life. Like, I pay a gym membership and I don't always show up. But I would say, when I've made a choice, and others are depending on me, I think that's probably a big thing. Like if you're part of a team and
external validation.
Expect you. Yeah.
I think that external validation is so huge though. Like you just said, right? Paid for my gym membership. Okay, I've put money into this. I've committed to going to the gym, but that's just a thing for you. Right. That would only benefit you.
Right. I definitely put like the things that intrinsically validate me on the back burner.
Yeah. Why?
I mean, who doesn't like praise, Erin? But, I'll be unstoppable once I can validate myself. So watch out, world.
Yeah, how are we doing on that?
I mean, not great.
Yeah.
Not great. I think just getting older like makes it easier.
Okay. Expand on that.
I think it's just realizing like the world's not always going to give you that validation, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you're doing a bad job. One of the things I'm most proud of myself for is, going to get my MBA. Yeah. To be fair, is a degree that like many people don't need and many people do very well without. And it's very expensive. And, so there was a lot of like skepticism and like, why are you doing this? Like, you're doing fine. Like, you could just change jobs and, keep moving up or whatever. But I just like wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. And I was like going to a tutor at 6 a.m. to like study for my GMAT. And I think it's kind of like when I slip into that kind of really disciplined, like athletic mode and achieve something on my own, like like that's when I'm most proud of myself. If I could just remind myself of that and keep pushing myself towards things that and experiences that make you feel that way about yourself, I mean, that's definitely a healthier way to approach the world.
Totally. No, totally. But it's hard. That's hard.
The world is just set up in such a way for external validation, like whether that's, Instagram likes or like, changing your job on your LinkedIn or like, it's an easy fix. And it's always a longer road to push yourself to achieve something that maybe only you will value.
You also have to trust that what you value is enough for that internal validation. If you're looking for external validation, it's like, oh, that other person has deemed that the thing I did or the thing I achieved has value.
Right.
To truly have that internal validation.
Right.
For lack of a better way, you have to deem it as valuable,
right?
Or trust yourself,
right?
Trust how you feel about yourself,
right?
To have a high enough self-worth to know that, well, I have validated myself internally. Like that was why I did XYZ.
Yeah,
that was why I worked to achieve this thing. So even if the external validation doesn't come about it, it's like prioritizing internal validation over external.
Absolutely. Which is not straightforward.
Yeah, and
it
sports
seems
don't
risky.
do that for you. Sports don't do that for you.
There's always a score.
There's always a score.
There's always a bracket.
And you might think you need to be on the field or the court or whatever it is.
Right.
But if the coach doesn't agree with that value or doesn't think that that's what should go on the...
Right.
Interesting. You're always playing for the crowd, practicing for the coach to see you, to know that your value is worth putting you out
get
on the field.
Yeah. It's always
like
somewhat like performative. Yeah.
We had this conversation, Alex and I, my wife. If I say the word performer to you, what do you think of?
Lately, I think of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Erica Jane is a performer.
Amazing.
But she does it for the crowd. I think that's the point.
Growing up, I feel like I was always like, whenever people be like, oh, this person performs, I'd be like, theater, musical theater, person up on stage, a person singing.
Yeah, you never saw yourself as performing.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. I was like, oh no, I don't have the confidence to do that. Like, I don't have the confidence to like get up in front of people and like do something. Now, again, if it's a school project, if it's something, again, where I was getting graded on, external validation, I would show up and I would do it because that's what I was supposed to do.
Right.
But like, you knew high school Erin. Like, picture high school Erin being like, yeah, let me sign up for this musical.
That's so interesting. You never saw yourself as like, when you're being a goalie, like you never saw yourself as performing. Like you always saw yourself like just in the moment.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely
so
not.
Interesting.
Absolutely
even when we were playing, I mean, like I always like was very aware of like, oh, our parents are over there, or like this coach is watching, or like those boys are here, or
shut up.
Oh yeah, like that's so interesting.
Never.
Like I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I like made that stupid mistake in front of these people. Like I was definitely in my head about that stuff. But I mean, that's probably also why you like did so well. Like I was like so in my head about that stuff.
Yeah. Where that kind of has seeped in more recently in my life, I feel like, is went to PT school, got my PT degree.
Right.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Oh, Erin, I heard you graduated. Like, awesome. You're a PT now.
Right.
And like even how that presents like in the world.
Right.
We were kind of talking before we started here. Like I have been grappling with this whole like, oh, wow, my athlete identity has always played a much bigger role in my life than I thought it did.
Right.
Once I stopped playing basketball, I had kind of like thought I had pushed that down, but it's creeping back in. I don't think it ever actually went away.
Right.
And I don't think it needs to go away. It's just a reframe. I jumped straight from like, oh, hi, I'm Erin. I'm an athlete. I'm a basketball player. I'm a volleyball player, soccer player. To, oh, hi, I'm Erin. I'm a PT.
Right.
And then like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm a physical therapist. Like in my brain, that has like a slot in society, right? It's like that has its own amount of external validation. Or if you say you're a PT, people's response to that is either, oh, actually my shoulder hurts. Can you look? It's either that.
Right.
Or it's like, oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Like people are aware that
Well, it's a way for people to like identify you.
Right.
And like understand a piece about you very quickly.
Yeah. In this time period of my life and like the things that are feeling good and comfy for me now is kind of this like self-exploration more or less, or just like kind of this opening of podcasting, like doing more things that are creative.
Right.
I'm really enjoying stepping into.
Right. But maybe you never felt able to do when you were on such like a track.
Yes. I don't think my brain even allowed me to think about it. Part of that is a little bit, now I'm like, oh my gosh. So like now I have to shed my idea of being a PT. And it's like, no, that also doesn't leave you.
Right.
But the performance part.
Right.
It's been coming up recently because I'm like, external validation, like, no, it's fine. Like I'm treating people, you know, I'm helping them, I'm making them better, you know, on a daily basis. But also I had felt like I kind of got to a point where like, oh, okay, this is just like what I would do.
No, it's hard. Like, what is your next like achievement? What is your next like goal? What's the next thing you're going to be recognized for? Like, that's a hard thing. Yeah. And like those opportunities become fewer and further between. And how do you keep motivating yourself when it's like, oh, you're not going to like, you know, get the award for best PT in America. Like, if that exists, like
totally.
It's hard to like operate without those milestones and like opportunity for recognition.
How do you value success, more or less, right? Because it's like, well, yeah, I'm like successfully helping people, you know, like their injuries are getting better. They're not having pain, which again is amazing. Right. And like, I love that. Okay. That's kind of why I was like, all right, I'll start my own practice, because then that was like, okay, let's give myself something to work towards again. Something that I have to kind of like push myself out of a comfort zone a little bit. And then it's like, that's great. But as I'm working, I was like, there's just also, I'm so driven by performance and like external validation, which again, I don't think is a right or wrong thing.
No, I think it's very much part of the human experience. And like, I'm more in the corporate world, right? Where like,
totally.
That is still very much part of the like structure. And it's because we're also driven this way. It's like, what do you do to achieve that next title? What do you do to achieve like that next accomplishment? What can you put in your performance review? Like it's very like still structured that way. So I can imagine it would be challenging to like live without that kind of structure.
Truly. And again, it's like, as I'm saying this aloud and like I'm like, okay, Erin, like this should have like been very obvious. You know what I mean? Like it kind of feels like it's like, well, duh. And again, but I do think there's something to be said, like you said, with kind of the Real Housewives example, like performer, like there's sometimes a negative connotation to performance-based. They're just doing it to like get attention or for other things. I've never really been like the attention-seeking personality. Right. I think that's why I always was like, as an athlete, like, no, I'm not a performer. I'm not getting out on kind stage.
Of like, at least for me, like, I feel like I'm like attention seeking in a sneaky way. Yeah. It's like, I want people to be like, oh, you did a great job on that. I don't want to have asked for it, but I still like love that validation, which is like, not great in its own way, but.
And I've always deemed that like.
It's probably such a Midwest thing too.
Is that why?
Probably. Like,
oh my gosh.
I'm really humble, but tell me I did a great job.
Like, I'm really humble. I don't really like need your recognition, but please tell me
that can you just tell me how good I am? That'd be really great.
Oh my gosh. And just like, needing feedback. Like, I need feedback because like, what am I supposed to work on? Right. It's like, I don't trust my brain to come up with those things on its own.
No. I remember like heart palpitations and like just being so like anxious and nervous, like
that people were there watching.
And I think that definitely like held me back because I was just like so in my head about it. It's such a breakthrough that like you didn't feel that way.
I super didn't. And like even like literally as we're talking about it right now, I'm picturing, and I still remember even in like basketball, we'd be standing over there like along the wall, you know, to run out for warm-ups. Yeah. I always remember like as soon as you like you run out, and I was like aware of like, oh, like people are seeing us for the first time, run out. Right. But then you just get into your drill and then like I don't think about any of the outside. Like during the game, never once would I be thinking about like what was on the outside.
Wow.
But now I'm
that's a
just
gift.
wondering if that was like conditioned somehow into me, because like I remember standing in the line and like I'd have teammates next to me that were always just like, oh, I'm so nervous to go out there in front of people. And I would always just be like, what?
Why?
You're fine.
Yeah.
Which now I'm like, oh my God, Erin, you were a total asshole. You were not acknowledging their like social anxiety and or like
well, it never came
what
off
they
that
were
way,
feeling.
but-
Yeah. But I'm just like, now I'm like, oh, wow. No, yeah. People were thinking about that.
Of course.
As a like performance, I'm out here doing something in front of people.
Right. Like I'm embarrassed that I missed that shot, or I'm embarrassed that I like, you know, kicked it into someone's shins.
Gosh,
but what a gift for you.
What
a skill.
Thank you, I guess. But then it also made me go into my adult life and be like, you don't need external validation. You're not a performer. It's okay to be like, oh yeah, no, you kind of thrive off of being acknowledged for accomplishing things.
Yeah, of course.
So then when all of a sudden you're just like doing your own thing, working on your own businesses and things like that, and it's like people aren't like, hey, good job.
Right.
You're working towards this next thing. Oh, here, I'm going to give you this promotion. I'm kind of like, okay, what am I doing? Should I be doing it? And that self-confidence starts to waver a little bit.
Well, and I think it also shifts from like, oh, that's the expectation. Like you're not going to be like giving kudos for like things you're expected to do.
Totally. Totally. Yeah. Millennial overachievers.
I love Gen Z. They're going to like run such a better world. Than
Totally. No, I'm with
they
you.
have boundaries.
We're working on it.
We're working on it.
We're just working.
We're getting there. Be patient with us.
You guys, we just learned how to relax recently.
But we really care about how you're feeling.
We do.
And if you need us to take on anything, please let us know.
We've got it covered for you. Oh, your anxiety, we will take it on.
Yeah, let me worry about that.
Us.
Please.
Oh, okay. You just let that go already? All right. Well, I've still been thinking about it for you. So you are so welcome. Oh my gosh. This has been amazing.
Oh, I'm just so happy to see you and chat with you. And I do miss playing sports together.
Yeah.
Like,
we had a good ass time.
Yeah, we were so lucky.
Yeah.
Just to be surrounded by great people.
Yeah.
Like great community, great parents.
Fully agree.
A special little bubble.
And just like bowling memories that last a lifetime.
I still freaking love bowling.
I love bowling. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Of course.
Veronica, VK, Veronica, V. My girl.
High five.
If you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review. You taking that 5 minutes makes a huge difference and helps us to be able to make more episodes like this. And if you want to see more content in between the episodes, follow us at No Former Athlete on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I'm so glad you're a part of this No Former Athlete community. And if you know any No Former Athletes that you think I should get in touch with, DM me on Instagram at No Former Athlete. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.